All right, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Pro Wrestling Logic YouTube channel, and we are going to go into the NXT review for the 27th of May 2020. Like, subscribe, comment below. We are going to do a whole bunch. This is probably going to be, 20 or 30 episodes of the TNT review series uploaded today. Probably around the 1st of June, if not before. We're going to start the Saturday Night Main Event series, and then we are going back to our Superstars of Wrestling series after that. If there's something you want to see or hear more accurately, please feel free to comment below. We will get to it when we can in any event. Overall, the NXT event tonight felt very lackluster. To me, it's kind of like when you eat dinner and you've had it before, and you're great because you ate and it's food, but it's a non-memorable meal, and if you didn't have it again for 6 months, you wouldn't care. That's kind of how this NXT came off. There's nothing egregiously bad. The wrestling was fine to good at points, except the main event was phenomenal, and I can't rave enough about that. If you do nothing else with NXT this week or a WWE product this week, I would even say NXT, I would still, even though the show fell flat to me, I would still go out of my way to watch the main event between Matt Riddle and Timothy Thatcher. It's phenomenal. Rumor has it, or reports say, I'm not a reporter because having been in the business and having friends that work in all the major companies, it feels like snitching, so I wouldn't do the reporter thing. It doesn't feel right to me. And B, it's just not what I'm there to do. I'll say, hey, this person's reporting this person's reporting that, but anything that I know personally from friends that are working in various companies, I'm going to keep under my hat just out of respect to the business. But anyway, man, the show just felt flat. It other than the Riddle thing. But anyway, Riddle's supposed to be going to SmackDown. Hey, an actual reason to watch SmackDown, maybe, until they screw him up in 3 months too. So anyway, we open with a cruiserweight tournament triple threat match to determine who goes to the finals from Group A. I wasn't a fan of the tournament to begin with. I get why they did it, but punishing someone for the pandemic seems stupid. Also, I don't like triple threat matches unless they're elimination style. If they're elimination style, you have one winner. If they're just random pin style, like WWE does them, gee, we want to protect a guy from taking a loss because wins and losses matter even though we only do 50-50 booking. You can't have it both ways, guys. Anyway, so Maverick pins Atlas in a interesting finish where Kushida has him in a submission and Maverick jumps in and takes the cover on Atlas. Interesting finish here. So that's the end of the match, but let's just go through it. Drake Maverick, I didn't like him when he was in TNA Impact, but I've grown to love him the way WWE has presented him. So it is kind of, to steal a Bruce Pritchard line, of a fresh paint of coat does a world of good for some guys, and Maverick has been one. Atlas looks good with a moonsault off the middle, and he hits that onto the floor on Kushida. And then he gets a near fall. Kushida fires up with a cartwheel dropkick and a couple of palm strikes. Kushida does the O'Connor roll, and then Maverick comes in and breaks it up, but the cradle's still in focus. German suplex into a bridge. Kushida's bridge had a dual cover on both guys. This is a really cool looking spot. Don't think I've seen this before. Then they go to commercial. They do the strike war coming back from the commercial. And then Maverick hits a missile drop kick to hit both guys. Um, Kushida and Maverick are in the ring. Kushida dives to the floor onto Atlas. Again, dives with no people. I say it every time, but it's stupid every time. I'll continue saying it. Kushida hits a tornado DDT and then goes into the armbar. Kushida works the armbar quite a few times. And then we go into a posting of Kushida. Atlas took a sliced bread from Maverick for another near fall. Kushida drops Maverick with a wind-up punch. I don't really care for that move, but it is what it is. Again, we go into Atlas using a German suplex. Atlas hits a rainbow DDT on Maverick. Kushida breaks the pin up. And all three took turns fighting on the turnbuckles. Kushida does a flip off the corner, back to the arm breaker. Kushida is going at the arm pretty hard. Maverick jumps in and puts an arm over the chest of Atlas, who's tied up. Referee counted Atlas' shoulders down, and Maverick advances in the tournament. Hopefully Maverick is the number one contender. Hopefully or the champion. Hopefully this leads to a good run for Maverick. I don't agree with them firing him and bringing him back, but if that's what you're going to do, it is what it is. Phantasma comes out to face off with Maverick post-match, and they shake hands. Blah, blah. Phantasma, I don't know. I'm not a lucha guy, so he doesn't really do much for me. But they haven't portrayed him to where he should do much for me either. Then they promote the takeover in your house thing, which is just... Okay, we're in the middle of a world pandemic. Let's pretend that we have half a brain for just a second. Why would we put a network special on with no people? I get if you've booked an arena and you went to the trouble and you're paying all this time, but with no people... Why do we need a network special? Oh, because that's going to make someone buy the network for $10 lousy a month? No. Still in the middle of the pandemic. Hold the specials off until I understand TV contracts. I get why they have to show up to do that. But specials, and I would even say the pay-per-views, leave those until you come back to have people in the crowd. That's just me. Anyway, Rhea Ripley, Io Shirai versus Charlotte in a triple threat match for the championship at the Takeover show. Gargano and Candice LeRae come out. They cut a promo. He says he's being misunderstood. The Gargano way isn't about eliminating people. It's about giving them opportunity, making NXT a better place. He says he's running the Gargano Invitational. Something just felt off about this, like they were forcing it. It didn't feel right. It didn't feel particularly good. Gargano gives a young wrestler an opportunity. Aiden Alanis in the first ever Gargano Invitational. During the introduction, almost calls him Adrian Adonis, which I found kind of funny, which I guess is what they were going for. Gargano offers to shake hands, but he doesn't follow through. Alanis runs into a super kick really early, and then he gets the quick submission. The match is less than a minute long, maybe a minute and a half at most. There's a celebration. So Mia Yim and Keith Lee are doing this hokey, stupid, let's alter our voice boxes with technology promo. They're spoofing the visual effects of the Garganos. I get it, but it comes off really bad. Babyfaces shouldn't be involved in something this stupid. They make fun of the Garganos for the previous skits they've done. Lots of people love it. I just was like, really? Keith Lee's like a world beater, and you have them doing stupid third rate comedy stuff. Just nah. Just nah. Mia Yim says she's prepared Candice LeRae's favorite kind of dinner takeout. And Tegan Knox delivers them a pizza, but there's only one slice left in the box. This does not please Keith Lee, who looks like he could eat a whole herd of pizzas. Then they hype the mixed tag match that's upcoming at the takeover thingamajigger. This was not good. I don't get it. Anyway, Maverick Wild. No, that's a friend of mine from the WCW days. Maverick. Drake Maverick. There we go. Kushida approaches. He offers him a title shot when he wins. Tag team champions Imperium cut a lazy promo. And they're talking about being the best. I don't particularly care for Imperium, so this is my thing. They're plugging an upcoming match with Danny Burch and Lorcan. Then Raquel Gonzalez with Dakota Kai defeats Shotzi Blackheart, which, again, remember we talked about stupid? So, Shotzi Blackheart gets this really cool promo last week where she runs over things with a tank. A tank! Big deal, right? And then you have her lose the next week. Why? Why? I'm going to quote the 25th letter of the alphabet. Why? Why go to the trouble of making this really cool vignette if you're not going to give her at least a few wins? I get she can't win all the time, but save the cool vignette. She wins the next week, then she loses. Okay. Cool vignette. She loses the next week. No. This is not how we do this. This is not acceptable. Anyway, match isn't bad, but it's alright. I mean, so, Dakota Kai interferes, then Candice LeRae gets involved from ringside just with a distraction. Blackheart uses her quickness. Gonzalez is there for the early portion of the match and does some decent stuff. I mean, it's nothing to write home about, but it's fine. Kai gets in the mini tank and is trying to drive it around ringside. This doesn't go very well. We go to commercial, come back. The match has been slowed down during the commercial. Gonzalez is, getting her offense in. We see the dreaded bear hug. Blackheart makes a comeback, and there's a trust fall that doesn't go very well. She lands hard on the floor. Again, why take that risk for no people is beyond me. Knox is checking on things, and then Candice LeRae runs down, confronts Knox. There's an argument. Referee tries to separate them. There's no actual interference. It's just a distraction finish, but there's no point. Blackheart's trying to get a finish of her own. Obviously, with the distraction, she can't. Just no. Then we go to a vignette with the Finn Balor and Damian Priest thing. I don't get Damian Priest. I don't get why he's in a position to be with Finn Balor. Yes, I understand he attacks him in the angle, but I don't think he's ready, nor do I see a reason for all the hype that Priest is getting. Show me matches of his that make me, really care one way or the other. And I might change my mind. Anyway, Charlotte Flair reveals she has a mystery partner for the tag match. The mystery partner is Chelsea Green with Robert Stone. They defeat Io Shirai and Rhea Ripley. I love Charlotte Flair. I personally can't get enough. I don't mind she's on all three shows, but I think they're going to burn her out, and I think they need to scale back her involvement with all of these shows. Anyway, so Flair pins Shirai with her feet on the ropes for a cheesy win. Um, so I'm not a Mauro Ranallo fan anymore. I used to be when he first got to NXT. I think he's lost a step. I think he lost some confidence with all the JBL drama, with the bullying BS. And so I think it has affected his work. However, Mauro Ranallo, the person, I have complete respect for. He acknowledges Hana Kimura during Io Shirai's entrance, and that was really classy. He talks about how we need to stop bullying each other. I don't know whether he did that on his own. I don't know whether he had office approval. Either way, classy thing to do since she never worked there, and my respect for him grew because he did this. So Flair lets Green start the match. Flair keeps away from her challengers. Shirai goes for the Tiger Feint kick. Green leaps through the ropes with a tope on Shirai. Shirai hurts Flair. And then when Shirai is hurt, Flair tags in. They do a few dives through the ropes. I've talked about not liking dives. I still don't. Let's see. Then we move into, man, this match feels long. And partially it's, I don't know, there's something about women's tag matches that don't have the same flow as singles. I'll watch women's singles all day long, but the tag matches just don't do as much for me. And I don't know if it's conditioning, I just don't know if it's what it is anyway. They return from the break. Shirai ducks chops from Flair. Flair hits her own partner. Rhea Ripley, and she's going nuts. She breaks up the pin. Flair goes for the figure four on Shirai. On Ripley, but Shirai makes the save. Shirai then hits a roll up and double stomp on Flair. Again with the Tiger Feint kick, and Flair's pushed out of the way, and Green takes a bullet for her. I assume there's going to be further alignment between Flair and Green, which is good for Green. Ripley knocked off the apron. Flair rolls Shirai up with a schoolgirl and puts her foot on the ropes to win. They do a Zoom meeting, Adam Cole and William Regal. They do negotiations. Basically, what comes out of this in a several minute segment is if Velveteen Dream doesn't win the championship at TakeOver, he can't have another NXT championship shot until Adam Cole is done, which means that Velveteen Dream is most likely going over at the TakeOver thing, which I think is horrible, especially when you have guys like Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan and Timothy Thatcher all left on the roster who could do jumping jacks in the ring backwards while standing naked on a stack of waffles and work circles around the Dream. Anyway, Tommaso Ciampa against Leon Ruff. Scarlett comes out for the distraction. Ciampa and Karrion Kross are going to do battle with the In Your House deal. I don't mind this, but at the same time, they're jumping Kross in too quickly. A guy like Ciampa, former NXT champion, I think they should have left that alone and had this be a little more drawn out. Ciampa is looking for the quick win. Ruff looking for the quick upset. A knee strike from Ciampa cuts off Ruff. And then Ciampa hits the fairy tale ending to get the win. Kross cuts a promo on Ciampa post-match. And, they do kind of a comic book presentation. It's not my thing, but I get it. They're trying to do something different with the characters. They're trying to make it like an Undertaker type thing or like a Bray Wyatt type thing. I get what they're trying to do. It's not my thing. It doesn't have to be as long as it gets over. Although how can you gauge if something gets over with no crowd? Next week, the finals for the Cruiserweight deal, and Mia Yim versus Candice LeRae in a singles match, and they're hyping the takeover stuff. Now the main event, the one thing that honestly you should go out of your way to see from WWE this week, probably this month. Tim Thatcher and Matt Riddle in a cage fight. Kurt Angle is your referee. Thatcher wins via ref stoppage. He chokes Riddle out with a sleeper. So I have a solution. Timothy Thatcher should beat Adam Cole when the time is right. Skip the Velveteen Rabbit Dream and go right to Thatcher. Thatcher is awesome, and having a fighter as champion would be awesome. There's no ropes in the ring. Ring surrounded by a huge cage. There's a catwalk platform on top of the cage, and kind of a blend between a scaffold match, an MMA match, a cage match. Interesting look, certainly unique. 10-second knockout or submission is the only way to win. They start the match on the platform in opposite corners, and then they jump down into the ring. Fight is going. Thatcher goes down first, and there's a springboard off the side of the cage into a disaster kick. Thatcher able to get to his feet and break the 10 count, just barely. He's spitting up blood early, and he spat out what was sold as his teeth. This was pretty gruesome. Angle then puts the gloves on, went to check to see if Thatcher could continue. Doctor comes in to check, says he can continue. They go to commercial, they come back. There's grappling between both guys. Riddle hits another springboard, and Thatcher counters, tries for the armbar. Riddle escapes, and he takes a suplex a few seconds later. Thatcher applies a half crab, and he really sunk it in. Transitions into cross faces. Riddle is able to break free, gets to his feet. Both go for ground submissions. Riddle escapes and mounts Thatcher for some ground and pound work. Thatcher goes for a triangle, and Riddle deadlifts him into a powerbomb position. Thatcher breaks free. They go onto the catwalk of the cage. And then there's a Skywire reference here. They're trading strikes on the platform. Thatcher catches Riddle in an ankle lock. I mean, just the submission stuff here is awesome. And then there's several kicks. A missed senton by Riddle. And then, Riddle hits Thatcher with a ripcord knee. Nearly knocks him into next week. Riddle backflips off the platform into the floating bro and into the ring. Riddle lands a flurry of kicks, but then crashes into the cage. Thatcher sidesteps everything, and then Thatcher locks in a sleeper. He's riding Riddle. Riddle falls backwards and sandwiches him into the mat. Thatcher doesn't quit. He holds the sleeper. He gets the ref stoppage with a technical submission, and Matt Riddle is ready to head to SmackDown. Overall, really good match and worth going out of your way to see, but a lackluster edition of NXT on this particular occasion. I'd love your comments below. Like, subscribe, comment below. What did you think of this week's NXT? And until next time, keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Until next time, everybody.